Hey, hey. Okay, I've got a huge topic today about following rules, breaking rules, and how to navigate love. That's the topic today. However, before we dive in, I have a huge celebration. OMG. I am starting my fifth year doing this podcast. This is the first episode of my fifth year. So season one of number five. I mean, wow. I have interviewed some of the most amazing leaders of our time, everywhere from John Gray, who's coming up again in the very near future, to Ariel Ford, to Sherry Winston, to, oh my God, so many amazing people from talking about love and relationships to health and wellness, Joe Hoy Fit, all of these amazing people helping you have an extraordinary second half of life, whether you have a partner or not. So I just wanted to just take a moment and go, yay, yay, because I love doing this. I love sharing so much of the golden nuggets of these amazing teachers and leaders of our time, and also supporting you with what I know about love and relationships. Because frankly, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of navigating the ins and outs of how to do relationships well, how to pick your next relationship, and more importantly, the relationship with yourself. So I'm just ecstatic to share this first episode of my fifth year in season one. And I'm in just deep gratitude. And frankly, it couldn't happen without you. Because if no one was watching and no one was listening, I wouldn't be doing it. And I'm so happy to say that there are more listeners and followers every single day. And that's because of you. That's because you're liking and subscribing to the show. If you haven't, please do now so you don't miss anything. I've got an amazing lineup coming up for this season. And also, when you share these podcasts, it helps other people find this kind of information, because it's not just about learning how to online date. It's not just about how to have great conversations with your beloveds. It's not just about how to eat well or to give yourself love. It's about so many different pieces to the puzzle. And that's why I do this, because I really want you to have the love box, all the components you need to have an extraordinary second half of life. And I see it all the time with my clients. And this is my way of giving back to you. So, yay for you for being here. If you get some value from this today, share it. That would be awesome. And again, if you haven't liked or subscribed, what you waiting for? So, I want to talk to you today about something that has come up multiple times in my podcast interviews, as well as people that listen to the podcast and ask me questions after, or just in regular conversations with my clients, which is, do I do this or don't I do this? Do I say this or don't I say this? How long do I wait before I have sex? How long do I wait to have the money conversation? How long do I wait to ask to get on the phone? I mean, there's so many ins and outs of how to do relationships, how to do the journey to the relationship, and again, how do you take good care of yourself? And so you might have heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again. I am the no rules girl. I am the no rules girl. Who did you learn these rules from? And we want to break through the rules or these beliefs that you've picked up along the way, that there is an exact science to how to do this love and relationship journey. With that said, there's a lot of information out there, and there's some really great guidelines. Did you hear me? Guidelines on how to do love and relationships well. And I share guidelines as well. So I just want to actually share something recently that Spiritual Singles, which is a wonderful app for people that are spiritually minded. I always like to let people know about Spiritual Singles because they do some really good work. Yes, there's a lot of long distance relationships in Spiritual Singles, and some of you might have a rule. Relationships that are past a certain amount of miles or time is a deal breaker. Now, hey, you could have that as a deal breaker for you, but I offer to you to question that rule or that belief, because what if your soulmate is in another state? And Jill Crosby, who's the owner of Spiritual Singles, actually is doing a series of videos with people that have had success long distance. And there was this one particular couple that were, as I would say, breaking all the rules. It was like weeks of chatting before they even had their first conversation. And then when they finally met, I don't remember exactly, but they got together in real time. I think he flew to her state because they weren't even in the same state. And my memory is, I think he moved in with her within 5 weeks. Yes, take a breath. Talk about breaking that rule. Like, oh, no, you don't know the person. You're in the love phase. You're in the honeymoon phase. Don't believe it's going to last. Well, not only did it last, they got married, I think 6 months later, and have been together over 8 years and are happy. So I share that story with you to debunk the rules. And I offer to you, it's important to make your own rules and test them. Does it feel good to jump into a relationship right away without knowing certain things, certain criteria, having certain conversations about love and relationship and money and family? Or are you somebody like that couple that just kind of go, oh my God, this feels so right. I'm going to trust my instincts. Bottom line is, this is your journey, sister. This is your journey. And whether you hear a dating coach that says, I've got the magic answer, you do it this way. I had Mike Goldstein on, who I love. And I always say he's one of my favorite dating coaches. He knows a lot. He's done his research, and he's got this very strong belief in his system. He's run the numbers and he says, this is how you do it. And he gives certain criteria on how to do the first 6 weeks of your journey to figure out if he's a good man or not, to figure out if this is the relationship for you. He's got his way. And he says, so many people get into relationships with his protocol. You could listen to his podcast. So you might go, oh my God, he's got the answer. Let me do all these things that he says. And it may or may not work. This is not to throw him under the bus in any way. His stuff works. He's got the stats for his clients. And who didn't it work for? Who doesn't it necessarily jive with? Maybe it's you. Maybe you look at his protocol and you go, yeah, I would prefer to talk on a more regular basis and not just wait a week before I speak to them. I prefer to have in person right away and spend many hours with them. What I offer to you is, these are guidelines. And yes, you're going to hear some amazing people that I bring on here, like Mike, like myself, where we're going to share some golden nuggets around, this is a good strategy. This isn't a good strategy. I've seen challenge with this strategy. I want to save you time. I want to save you time so that you're not calling me like so many people do, going, online dating sucks. There aren't any good men out there. I just want to just have a great life. I'm not going to go there anymore. So I offer to you that I want to spare you the drama of having the wrong people in your inbox. I want to spare you the drama of staying too long in a relationship that doesn't serve you. I want to spare you the pain, the heartache that happens when you don't listen to your gut and you haven't done your own work to really figure out, what are your guidelines? What is your dating strategy? What is your love map to your ideal relationship? So I invite you to sit with this message right now, maybe do some journaling and ask yourself, what are your rules around dating and partnership? What needs to happen? What doesn't need to happen? What are your beliefs around men or women, for those few men that listen here? What have you learned through the years that you might have picked up some beliefs around partnership, whether they work or not? And like I always say, and this is my jam, I know it, but man, I'm standing strong with this, which is, if you have not unpacked the past and really aligned with who you are now and are clear with how to take great care of your precious heart, self-love in action, how you treat yourself, how you love up yourself, how you create a beautiful life on your own. If you haven't figured that out yet and you jump into another relationship or jump into the dating pool, it can be really murky. It can be really challenging because you're coming to it not knowing the most important relationship of your life, which is with you. And if you don't know how to take really good care of yourself and you don't have that deep knowing of your self-worth, your worthiness, your lovability, you are going to have a challenge with receiving it from someone else. And you may have some wonky boundaries around saying, no, I don't accept behavior like that because maybe you're not treating yourself with respect. So if you want someone to respect you and treat you like the queen you are, or the king for those guys that are listening, you got to know you deserve better. So when you treat yourself like gold and you know your standards, and may they be fucking high standards. Yes, may they be fucking high standards. Do not lower your standards. If it's important to you, you hold those standards and then you will be met there. You will be met there. And if you're not met there, if someone comes into your world and they're not treating you in the way that you know in every ounce of your being you deserve, it's going to be like scratching on a blackboard or maybe even worse. And when you know how to take good care of yourself and you have the healthy communication and you have that groundedness, then you can say, you know what, this isn't a fit. And you move on. And you don't go into the, oh my God, there's no good guys left out there. Dating sucks. You just move on fast. You're going to see it faster, 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 the more aligned you are. So enjoy this next season. Enjoy these amazing guests and listen carefully to what they're sharing. And if my guests, and I'm going to throw all of them under the bus a little bit here, if any of my guests speak from a place of black and white, do this and you get these results, I invite you to ask yourself, does that make sense to you? Because they've had that experience. And it's very true that if they're very black and white, you do this and you get these results. If they're saying that they have seen something, they have learned something, and now it's time for you to put your big girl pants on and ask yourself, does this work for you? Does this make sense for you? Can you take that golden nugget and take it to the next step for you? Does it align with you? So create your own love map. And if you need some extra support with creating your own love map, learning how to support yourself when it comes to loving yourself, owning your truth, trusting your gut, and calling in and maintaining, sustaining, and experiencing great love, if you need support with that, then please look at the show notes and apply for a love breakthrough session with me. If you're committed to your love journey in the second half of life and we haven't spoken yet, what you waiting for? Go apply. I open up a handful of spots every month to talk to people that are really ready for change. Meanwhile, take the quiz, which is what I'm about to share with you in a moment. So, like, subscribe, listen to your heart, listen to the guests, and make good choices for you. Educated, good choices for you. And remember, rules are meant to be questions. You don't have to take on other people's rule books. All right. Mwah. One more thing before you go. Have you taken my Discover Your Love Avatar quiz? It's a 2-minute quiz that can help you not only know your strengths, your superpower, because you have one, also identify some of your blind spots, some of the things that might be having you in your fear, having you behaving in ways that aren't in alignment with your highest self, the way you want to be when it comes to dating and relationships. And it'll also help you discover why maybe the stars haven't lined up for you yet. Bottom line is, You take this 2-minute quiz, you get a full report in your email with details on how to move forward in next level love, whether you want a partner or not. So you can go to midlifeloveoutloud.com/love quiz. The link is in the show notes as well. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to the station, I'm going to encourage you to do that too, so you don't miss any episodes. And I hope you got a ton out of today's. See you next week. Mwah.